Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another Tumbler tutorial. In this video we are going to make a coffee themed tumbler using glitter and foils. So I'm starting with my 20-ounce skinny mug from Craft Haven. I base painted it with Kona spray paint from Rust-Oleum, and once that was dry I went in with the epoxy method to apply my glitter. So I'm taking a very small amount of epoxy and spreading it all over my tumbler. You want maybe like 1 to 3 milliliters of epoxy, not a lot. Okay, so we've got a really thin coat of epoxy all over our tumbler here, and now we're going to apply our glitter. We're going to use Sweater Weather from Peachy Olive Glitters. I wanted to use any kind of like coffee brown, and I really like the blue tones that are in Sweater Weather. I think it's a really just like pretty cozy coffee fall color. So I'm just going to cover the entire tumbler with this glitter. Sweater Weather is literally the perfect fall color. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna let my cup sit and dry for about 2 to 3 hours before I add my epoxy. I added 2 coats of epoxy and I used the Flynn Sisters fast setting epoxy. So I waited about maybe 2.5 hours in between coats. So once that was all done, I went in and did all of my sanding on my cup to get it as smooth as possible. And now I'm going to apply my foil adhesive so that we can do our distressed foil look. Now, because we're going for a more distressed vibe here, I'm not being super meticulous or perfect with this adhesive application. So I'm going in with my foam brush and I'm just kind of messily brushing this adhesive on. I'm not trying to get full perfect coverage. So once I've got the adhesive on, I'm going to take my chip brush and just kind of like mess up the adhesive a little bit, if that makes sense, because what we're going for in the end is just little tiny distressed pieces of foil. If you want full coverage, you'll want to be a little bit more precise with your application. So I let that sit for about an hour, and now I'm ready to go in and apply my foil. So I'm going to use this really pretty marble foil from Artistic Painting Studio. We're going to start by just wrapping the foil around the entire tumbler, and you'll see that the coverage is not perfect, and that's exactly what we're going for here. So even as I'm laying the foil down, I'm not being super precise with how it lays. I'm not worried if there are wrinkles in the foil. I really just want to get some foil spots on there and start out with a pretty good base for our distressed look. I use my vinyl scraping tool to help release the foil from its like carrier sheet, and once I have that all on there, I'm going to remove all of this excess here, and then I'm going to take some acetone on a towel and I'm going to go through and further distress this look. Now, if you want to, instead of using foil, you can absolutely do this with just like white spray paint if you want that look, but I really liked the kind of variation and dimension in this marble foil. I liked those little bits and pieces of darker color, so I went with the foil, but you can just as easily do this with spray paint. So as you can see, I'm going in with my acetone on a towel and I'm just removing some areas where I just don't really like the pieciness of it. Just kind of distressing it, making it look a little bit more rustic. You can do as much or as little of this as you want, obviously. If you want more foil to show, you'll do less distressing / removal. If you want more of a just like kind of touch, you'll do more distressing and removal. So I'm going to go through with the acetone, and then I'm going to go in with some 91% rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to clean up the residue of the foil. This is the same process that you would do if you were using spray paint. You first go in with the acetone to remove the color, and then you'll go in with the rubbing alcohol to clean up the residue and make everything like perfectly clean and pristine again, I guess, if that makes sense. So after that first step of foil application and distressing, I'm ready to move on to my next foil step. So I'm going to take this like goldy copper foil and I'm just going to cut a couple little pieces and I'm going to just lay that down randomly all over the cup. Now, even though we used our acetone and our rubbing alcohol, some bits of the adhesive are still there and they're still sticky. So I'm just going to find those areas on the tumbler and you can see I'm just doing random little splotches of this kind of bronzy, I don't even know what color you would call this, but it kind of just gives me like coffee vibes, I don't know. And it makes everything look a little bit more gilded, so I definitely am glad that I added that in the end. But you can see there, it just adds a little bit of extra oomph, so I added some of that, and then I added another coat of epoxy right over that, and now I'm going to go in and do all of my sanding on my top and bottom rims and the handle. All right, so I sanded the top rim of the cup really well to establish that thin line of stainless steel, sanded down the handle just a little bit, and then I sanded down the bottom as well. I did not sand the body of the tumbler because we're going to put a clear decal on here. We don't want any dull sanded marks or surfaces underneath our decal. The decal we're using is one that I designed. It was printed by the Vinyl Cottage. I'll have it linked down below in the description box for you, but it says go Venti or go home, which is a philosophy that I live by. The bigger the better. So we're going to put this on kind of like with the hinge method a little bit. I'm going to take this decal and I'm not touching the decal part. I'm just touching the clear part on the end that we're going to cut off later. So I'm going to cut away the backing here. And then I'm going to go around and I'm going to cut off all of those spots that I touched with my fingers. So we're left with a little bit of adhesive exposed, and we're going to use that to anchor our decal in place. And I'm going to put it right in the middle, like front area. So I'm going to lay down that part first. And then it will smooth the rest of the decal on. Just like that. So after the decal was applied, I added my final coat of epoxy and this tumbler is all done. This is definitely a little bit out of my typical design style and my comfort zone, but I'm really happy with the end result. I definitely think I'm going to use this technique again. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you like this style, if you don't like it, hopefully you do like it. Don't tell me if you don't like it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget, my Halloween series starts at the end of this week. From September 1st through September 13th, I'll be uploading a brand new Halloween Tumbler tutorial to my channel every single day. So be sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of those videos. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. And I will see you guys later this week for the 13 days of Halloween. Okay, love you. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Made by Manny and Mal. You can join my mentorship group at the website on your screen. I'd love to have you in the Elite fam. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you are not already so you don't miss any of my new videos. And while you're here, here's another video for you to check out. I want to say a huge thank you to my channel members and my Elite fam members. You guys make this channel possible. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.